Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Probably clicked on this video because you were like, what am I doing around telling stories now? Did I change it to a story channel or what's going on here? But yeah, today we're going to be telling you the story about the Mexican fisherman. I really wanted to include this in a previous 4-hour work week book review, but that video would have just been like 22 minutes and just crazy long. Nobody would watch it in the first place. So I just, thought, why not make another video, right? Extra video to make. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to read out that story in my best narrative voice and then talk about it and see the moral of the story and why I like it so much. So basically, the 4-Hour Workweek is a book written by Tim Ferris. If you want to see the full book review, you can click on that right here. The YouTube card will come up, hopefully. Today we're gonna be just looking at that one story. So let's get right into it. If you have this book and you want to follow along or whatever, for some reason, if you want to know, it's on page 252. The book is a phenomenal book. And my favorite thing in the book is this story. I mean, if I forget everything else in the book, I don't know why, but this story just really sticks out to me. So yeah, let's get started and let me read the story to you. So, an American businessman took a vacation to a small coastal Mexican village on doctor's orders. Unable to sleep after an urgent phone call from the office the first morning, he walked out of the pier to clear his head. A small boat with just one fisherman had docked, and inside the boat were several large yellowfin tuna. The American complimented the Mexican on the quality of the fish. "How long did it take you to catch them?" the American asked. "Only a little while," the Mexican replied in surprisingly good English. "Why don't you stay out longer and catch more fish?" the American asked. "I have enough to support my family, and I give a few to friends," the Mexican said as he unloaded them into a basket. "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican looked up and smiled. "I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take a siesta with my wife Julia, and stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life, senor." The American laughed and stood tall. "Sir, I am a Harvard MBA and I can help you. You should probably spend more time fishing and with the proceeds buy a bigger boat. In no time, you could buy several boats with the increased haul. Eventually, you would have a fleet full of fishing boats," he continued. "Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you would directly sell to the consumers, eventually opening your own cannery. You would control the product, the processing, and distribution. You would need to leave this small coastal fishing village, of course, and move to Mexico City, then to Los Angeles, then eventually New York City, where you could run your expanding enterprise with proper management." Still there? Okay. The Mexican fisherman asked, "But senor, how long will all this take?" To which the American replied, 15 to 20 years, 25 tops." "But what then, senor?" the Mexican asked. The American laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right, you would announce an IPO and sell your company stock to the public and become very rich. You would make millions." "Millions, senor. Then what?" "Then you would retire and move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife, and stroll into the village in the evenings, where you could sip wine and play your guitar with your amigos." So yeah, that's the story. So yeah, you can take a minute to process the information. I love that story because it shows it, it teaches. The moral of the story is to show that, no matter what you do, if you blindly go in the pursuit of money, you won't find what you need. In this case, the Mexican fisherman had everything that he had. He had a nice, family. He played with his kids and his friends and guitar and all this stuff. And this American, businessman comes along and tells him to change all these things, but for what? That's the question you should ask yourself. At the end, after 25 years, to go back to the same life that he has right now. So don't blindly go in the pursuit of money is one thing that this video is trying to show us. The second thing is that more and more money is not necessarily going to bring us happiness. He only had a couple of yellowfin tuna, just enough for his family and for a little bit for his friends. But the more money that you make past a certain point, past enough to cover your basic necessities and stuff, your happiness does not come from more and more money or selling your company stock and making millions of dollars, even though that's what we're about here on this personal finance channel. And so he had everything he needed and he was content, and he shouldn't change his ways, because at the end, like it said, when he asked the American businessman, "What is all this for? What will happen at the end?" And he said all the stuff that he has right now. So that's basically the moral of the story. Hope you enjoyed this. Got this from Timothy Ferris's 4-Hour Workweek book. If you want the review, you can go link in the description below. Hope you enjoyed this video and this a little bit different, but this nice Mexican fisherman story. And I will see you next time. Bye.